Welcome everyone. My name is Michael Zachariah. I'm the Vice President of the Sutherland Shire Business Chamber, and thank you for joining us for this special breakfast. Today we welcome our speaker, Carmel, from Service New South Wales to share the new Easy to Do Business program. Easy to Do Business is a free service for business owners that provides a dedicated business concierge who will help navigate the complexities of starting of growing business. Please make Carmel welcome as she comes forward to share.
So as mentioned, my name's Carmel Mesnerick. I work for Service New South Wales. I've worked for the state government for almost 20 years, and about 12 months ago I decided I needed to do something different, so I worked for RMS, then came across to Service New South Wales. And then 12 months ago, after going through a leadership program with Service New South Wales and having a family, many family members that had gone into their own businesses, I thought I can either go into my own business or I can go into another area of Service New South Wales which looked like it was going to be helping small businesses, and that's exactly what they are doing. So is everybody familiar with Service New South Wales?
Yes.
Great. So you'd know that over the last 5 years or 6 years, they've sort of transform, it's an interesting word, but that's actually what they've done. So we've now got almost 97 service centres opened throughout New South Wales. We also have 2 contact centres, one based in Parramatta, the other one in Newcastle. We also have what we call middle offices. So that's basically back office processing centres, and they're located throughout the state. We also have things called council agencies. So basically in regional areas we'll have a council office, and we train the council staff to be able to conduct Service New South Wales transactions. At the moment we're currently reviewing what we call our physical points of presence throughout the state to identify whether we need to have more service centres, do we need to offer a different experience for the customers. So one of the projects that's being worked on at the moment is a thing called a digital hub. So up on the Central Coast it's going to be trialled in Woy Woy. And what that's going to look like is a bit of a combination between a service centre and a digital hub. So that'll be something that's coming up. So my role is manager of the council engagement team. So after about 15 years of managing teams, 12 months ago I thought I'll come across to Easy to Do Business, and I've just got to be a council relationship manager. I don't have to manage any people, and I can travel throughout the state. So I was given the region of sort of southwest New South Wales, which meant that I've travelled between City of Sydney Council down to Wagga, Bega and Eden, across to Griffith and Narrandera. And basically my role was to let councils know about the Easy to Do Business program and get them on board. Because part of the role of the Easy to Do Business team is to be providing information to small business owners about the local government requirements to start a business or expand a business. Okay. So then I was asked to, after our manager went on to a new role, I was asked to manage the team in about June, July this year. So basically what I'm doing at the moment is still going out and meeting with councils, now coming out and meeting with the business chambers like yourselves and letting everybody know about Easy to Do Business, and trying to also increase the volume of customers that are coming in to use the program. So does that make sense? Great, okay, good, keep eating. That means there's not many questions. Okay, so Easy to Do Business is a joint initiative of the Office of Small Business Commissioner, Service New South Wales and Better Regulation Division. Okay, it's based on a lot of research. So the research started in about 2014 with the aim to identify whether we could develop a program to simplify the process for starting, growing, expanding a small business in New South Wales. So with the idea of let's make New South Wales the easiest state to start, grow, expand a small business. Now, the Office of Small Business Commissioner, they work on advocacy and they also look at policy harmonisation. Okay, Okay, so they're currently working with councils, with small business owners to actually understand what's involved and is there some way to work with the regulators to simplify the processes or build awareness of what's involved in opening a small business. Okay, let's try to click on that. Okay, so 2 years ago, 4 councils or 4 LGAs were involved in the pilot program for Easy to Do Business. In that pilot program, it was identified, which I'm sure you're all very aware of, it was identified that finding information at a local, state and federal government level was really, really difficult. The pilot program identified that it could actually take anybody who has an idea to start a small business, it could actually take them up to 57 hours to contact all the different agencies, to go in and perhaps meet with your local representatives, and to put all the information into one place to actually then start your business. So 57 hours, I think they identified you'd have to speak to about 13 different agencies, and that was even before you'd served your first customer or opened your doors. Now the first thing that they did was we had to gather all the information, put all the information into one place and make it really easy for people to access and to use. The second thing that was established was a business concierge team. Okay, so they are a specialised group, they're not advisors, okay, they are a specialised group of people. The team sits in Service New South Wales and they can guide a customer through the process of opening their business. So for example, if you were, I'll use one of my sons as an example, he's an apprentice plumber. So he can see the quotes that his boss is preparing for future work and comes home and says to me, "Mum, my boss earns so much money, I'd like to open up my own business." And I look at him and go, "You're a really smart person, but you've got no idea, okay? You need to get the right information. I love your enthusiasm and your initiative, but operating a business is a lot of hard work and there's a lot more involved." So someone like him, he could go onto our online platform, he could send through a request and a business concierge can contact him and give him that really basic information about everything that's involved. Okay. Now we've heard from a bit over 1,000 customers. So we hit our 1,000th customer last week. And majority of the inquiries that we receive are people that just have an idea to start a small business. They don't understand that they've got to complete a business plan. Sometimes if they're opening, let's say, a cafe in Miranda, they're not sure, whether they have to go to council. They're not sure whether they should sign a lease. So we've had some customers that have said, "Oh, I've gone and signed a lease, and now I know I want to open my business." Now, a person in my local area, he signed a lease in August last year. He wasn't aware of all the steps that he had to go through. He wasn't aware of the financial backing that he needed, and he wasn't aware that he actually had to go into council and apply for some permits and licences and approvals, and he wasn't able to actually open his business until March this year. So sometimes some of the inquiries it'll be a customer that's like, "I'm about to sign a lease, I've organised my tradesman to come in and, do the fit out for the premises." And so the business concierge will say, "Hang on a second, have you gone and spoken to an accountant? Have you done your business plan? Have you gone into council to find out whether you've got to complete a DA?" Okay, so it's information like that. Sometimes it might be a cafe owner that wants to expand their hours and they want to also apply for a liquor licence. Okay, so we also facilitate that application as well, and we liaise with Liquor and Gaming to help them get their liquor licence. So there was one customer that came through. I've checked my lease. I'm going to spend $20,000 and purchase a brewing machine. So the business concierge said, "Look, this council is on board. I'm really familiar with that area. Could you please send through your lease? I'll check it for you, because I'm pretty sure you can't serve alcohol on the street that you're on. No. Anyway, finally, they sent through their lease, it was checked, not able to serve alcohol, so that customer didn't go and spend the $20,000 on their brewing machine. So we saw that as a win, okay? So basically we've got the online digital platform, which has been live since last year, and we've also got the free business concierge. And I must say, this program, it is a federally funded program, okay? So last year, all of the jurisdictions could make application to apply for funding to look at ways to help small business owners. So Service New South Wales, we applied for funding in conjunction with the Office of Small Business Commissioner, and that funding is supporting this program, and it means that it is free. It is free for all small business owners. It doesn't matter whether it's one phone call or one question. For some people, it could be 10, 15 phone calls. Okay, does that make sense? Great.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, a young bloke, apprentice Tom or whatever, makes contact, somehow or other finds this,
Yes.
makes contact with the dedicated consultant, who walks him through all the things that he's got to do. So at the end of that, he's either delighted or he's shit himself.
Yeah.
So how do you determine the tone with which the concierge delivers this information?
Yeah.
Because it's either positive and encouraging, or it's, oh my God.
Yeah, so the business concierge, they have a really defined script to follow with many different scenarios. And I guess their focus always is to let's give the customer as much information as possible. And so while the idea isn't to say to people, yes, go ahead and open your business, it's about hang on a second, slow down, have some caution, direct them to the right information. So one of the things that we do, and it's on the digital platform as well, the business concierges will say, you know, have you spoken to a business advisor? Have you spoken to an accountant? Sounds like you need to get some specialist advice. So then we will refer them to that specialist advice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so it'd be great if this program was available to every industry and every type of business, okay? But it was decided very early on in the program that that probably wasn't the best course of action, especially for the pilot program. So at the moment, the program is available to anybody in the cafe, restaurant and small bar industry, and recently it's been expanded to anybody in the housing construction industry, okay? So they've also developed how-to guides for anybody in the clothing, retail, printing services and road freight industry. The reason why those industries were selected was based on research from about 4 or 5 years ago. So while it's probably not the areas where there's most benefit, that's sort of the information that's been prepared for anybody in those industries. If you're, so based on the feedback that I've received, so especially in October, Small Business Month, our team were out obviously engaging with councils. We were coming to events such as these, connecting with business chambers, going to trade shows, letting everybody know about Easy to Do Business. And certainly the feedback, and received some more this morning, was that how can this program help anybody who's not in these industries? So at the moment, it's helping them by just providing the really basic information about registering your business name, applying for an ABN, connecting them to Business Connect as well, okay, and directing people to those advisors. But I would really encourage everybody here to send through some feedback about the program, because the way that this program is being developed is that it's continual, okay? It is continual development. We meet with customers, the product team and the customer experience team are constantly going out and conducting interviews with small business owners to obtain more feedback, to then make improvements to the landing page or the product or the business concierge team. So in September, any councils that were on board and any business chambers that we connected with, we sent out a survey about what the future operating model should look like for business concierge. Okay, so I would encourage everybody, if you'd like to send me an email or if you go onto our landing page, to send through your details so that you can be involved in that future development as well. Okay. Okay, so this is just a really high-level timeline of all the work that's been completed. I think I probably may have gone through a lot of information. So basically going back to the pilot in 2016, with the idea to improve business experience and regulations, identifying and addressing customer pain points. So within the Easy to Do Business team at Service New South Wales, we have the council engagement team, which is my team. We also have the customer experience team, so they're looking after understanding the pain points, so gathering research, getting the insights from small business owners, developing the future customer experience. We also have the product team. So the product team are looking after development of the landing page, development of the product, and then we have the strategy team. So Jane, who couldn't be here today, she's the director of the strategy team. So she's meeting with, she's sort of established working groups with the regulators to provide the feedback that we obtain from councils and small business owners. And sort of feeding that back to the regulators, such as, WorkSafe, Better Regulation Division, Department of Fair Trading, to actually hopefully improve the processes and the experiences for customers. Okay, so another thing that we're constantly doing is we're conducting every 3 months, we conduct a sort of a review of what we've completed, what we've learnt, and what we need to change going forward. And that's consistent across all of our teams. It's also consistent with the Small Business Commissioner's Office and Better Regulation Division. Okay, so don't know if can everybody see this screen? What we put into here is just an idea of what support and how the business concierge supports the customers at a local, state and federal level. So the different types of forms that they may help them with. Sometimes it's as simple as saying to customers, if you're going to open your business in this premises and you're going to do this type of fit out, within that LGA, you need to obtain a DA. Okay, letting customers know that your DA has to be drawn to scale. Okay, feedback from the planners at council is that sometimes people will submit DAs that are hand drawn, they're not drawn to scale. Some planners have had some plans drawn on napkins and serviettes. So that was a surprise to me, so we're actually trying to help people understand what's involved at each level and to provide that really basic information. Okay. At the state level, so working with liquor and gaming, where else? Business Connect. So certainly, so if you go through our platform, actually, does everybody have access to the internet at the moment? Do you have a phone with you or iPad? If you'd like to, go on to if you go onto our website, if you go into Service New South Wales, if you're on the home page and you scroll down, there'll be an image of a lady, actually, I think if I go through. So there's this image on the screen and it says making business easier. Now there's an option in there, the most interesting thing that's been built at the moment is in anybody in housing construction. Okay, so if you go through the process, it'll allow you to do two things. Either create a checklist or a to-do list, or it'll allow you to go register your details and go straight through to a business concierge. Okay, so if you go through the selection for a tradie, eventually you'll get to a point and it will have a checklist for you.
To-do list, yep.
A to-do list? Okay. In the top right-hand corner, it allows you to log in. Okay, so if you conduct your business with Service New South Wales online, you have your own Service New South Wales account. Okay, now in that account, it shows when your licence is due, and if you've got any motor vehicles registered in your name, when they're due, anything that's coming up. So if you log into via that path, if you log in and you have your to-do list, that will actually add that to your current Service New South Wales account. Okay, so you'll have a dashboard where everything is in one place. What they're working on at the moment is to set reminders. Okay, so you receive reminders when your licence is due or your rego is due. So this is the next step. The thing that the product team are working on at the moment is to set up some reminders. So you'll know when your licence is due, when you've got to apply to extend your permit, and that type of thing. Okay, great. So this is what the homepage looks like. Okay. Now at the moment, there's a lot of research being done. There's a lot of work with the regulators, with the Office of Small Business Commissioner to identify expansion of the program. Okay. I think we mentioned earlier, is that I would love to see this expanded and available to everybody that goes into business. But I think what will happen is, because of the amount of work that's involved, they will identify industries where we can actually expand the program. Yep. And what they will do is they will create an individual experience, such as that one for tradies, that will be tailored to each individual industry. Now, another option, if a customer would prefer not to go through, create their own checklist, or if that's not available for the industry, you can leave your details and hit submit, and the business concierge team will then contact the customer. Okay. What the business concierge team do as well is that they may check in with the customer, because all of our interactions are tracked with customers. And then at least we can identify anything that we need to improve in our processes, if we need to offer more training. I also seek feedback. I connect with the councils once per month, and I ask for their feedback to see if they've received any information from customers as well. Okay, and then this is just a bit of a visual of the experience for anybody who's in the cafe, restaurant, small bars industry. And just to go through high level the experience for it as a customer, okay? So what the business concierge will do, if you're opening up your business, say your cafe, they will give you all of the information. So they'll send you an email, they'll send you links to the different websites, they'll create a checklist for you. You can also have your checklist added to your dashboard in your account. They will also help the customer complete the forms. Okay, so from some of the research that we found, 70% of forms that were lodged with the different agencies were incomplete. Yeah. So the business concierge will say to the customer, okay, within this LGA, if you're going to be submitting your forms, you need to expect that it may take up to this period of time. So it's also about building awareness of what's involved and the time frames. We don't give anybody any assurance that because we've supported you, you're going to receive your approvals within this time, or you're going to receive approvals full stop. Okay, so it's really about educating the customers and building the awareness. So the business concierge will provide the information, they will check the forms, and then they will send that information back to the customer. Customer will print the forms, we attach a cover sheet. You can go and submit all of your forms to the different agencies, and that agency will know that they have been supported through the program. Then it just goes through the normal process of assessment, say if it's by council, and then all going well, the program can be launched. We've also sort of sometimes advocated on behalf of the customer to councils to help them understand, you know, why they may need to provide more information, or if they need to do a little bit more, homework to help them get their approval. Okay, and then this is just to give you an idea of our coverage. So this time last year, at the end of the pilot program, there were 5 councils that decided that they wanted to participate in the program. Since that time, we now have 97 councils that have joined the program. So for a council to participate in the program, we need to go and do a briefing, we prepare reports for them, they've got to take that to a council meeting, has to be supported obviously, they've got to pass a resolution. They also we need to support them through a 45-step process to get them on board, so that we can make sure that our services are available for everybody within that LGA. Okay, so we basically need council's approval to provide information on their behalf. Okay, and also to give them assurance that we're not going to take their customer service function. So my team and I have travelled throughout the state over the last 12 months, going through that 45-step process to get the councils on board. And then probably we're working towards end of December, early January, we will have over 100 councils on board. So we've got 128 councils on board. Sometimes those councils may not sort of have many, say, cafe, restaurants, small bars, or many tradies that are operating a business within their LGA, but they do have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. And it also means that we can come and meet with the business chambers. We can come and let people know about the services that are available. So an example of that was one of my councils, Narrandera. I took them through the process of getting them on board, presented at a council meeting. Then I was invited to go back to their business chamber. So travel back out to Narrandera. The way that their business chamber operates is there's about 20 people in the chamber, and they come from many areas throughout Narrandera. And they hold their business chamber meetings in a different person's business. So I went back, and this evening we were sitting in the haberdashery and sewing shop. So we sat around the sewing tables, and I went through very similar presentation to get them on board. And from that point, there was two businesses within the area. So there was a business owner that was based in Leeton, and she was looking to expand her business. So I think she also had a haberdashery shop, and she was looking to open a cafe within that premises. So she's been supported through the process to expand the business. There was also one of the hotels was, had new owners. They were going to change their licensing, so they've also been supported through the process. Okay, I'm at the end.